Please pray with me. Let the words of my mouth, the meditations of our hearts, and the actions of our lives proclaim your word and fill our hearts for the healing of the world. In Jesus' name, amen. Alice gave me a little cartoon this morning from the family circus. The two places we know we're always welcome are church and Grandma's house. Time and place. We're talking about time and place today. And friends, we're exactly in the right place at the right time. We're exactly where we're supposed to be, readying ourselves for the uniquely carved call that God has set before us. Now, according to the outline in my course in pastoral theology, the time we are in is one of great turning, emergence, a threshold time, stepping from one place to another. And it's characterized by a recognized shift in culturally inherited patterns of thinking and acting. Anyone watch the appointment of the National Cabinet this week? A shift in patterns of thinking. In this time when light and darkness sometimes seems to have equal power, we are preparing ourselves as partners in the great work. The great work of love, a mandate wider and longer than any one of our lifetimes. That's the time we're in. The place is right here, where our feet are planted and within the relationships we share that are closest to us. The beckoning of the great work of love requires the particularity of place. And so the place of Lynn Valley United Church is where we have chosen to plant our newest expression of God's call to us, at the corner of Herald and Mountain Highway. In the meantime, our place is right here in Cardinal Hall and 4 other locations. The place, make no mistake, is also within the heart of this people of faith. Place is within the heart. Sacred space, both individually and collectively. The sacred space within and the sacred places that we create are maintained as home to the great work of love in the world. Isn't that incredible? That's what we're doing here. Our everyday encounters with God and with each other, in the supermarket lineups, in the hairdressing salons, in worship, in sandwich making, in centering prayer, in board meetings, team meetings, seekers, sunrisers, coffee in the mall. All of that is preparing us for the great work of love in the world. Work that is both within our time and timeless, within and beyond any of our own individual lifetimes. As followers of the living Christ, the one who comes to us regularly in memory and experience, we are being called to live a life more fully in the life of God, becoming more of what we've been created to be in the image and likeness of God, more human, more capable of love. See what I mean about being in exactly the right time and place? Over these few weeks, we've been immersing ourselves in the flow of energies, blessings. The degree to which we release our hold on these energies is the measure of our development as a congregation on the move, a congregation acting upon mission, a congregation acting out our own sustainability. You'll recall that Eric Law refers to these as currencies, which need to move freely if they're to have any value at all. And like the currency of wellness and relationship and truth that we've explored already, time and place must also move freely if it's to have any value at all. This story of Bartimaeus, Jesus' encounter with blind Bartimaeus, son of Timaeus, is precisely a story of the generosity of time and place. The time is just before Jesus makes his triumphant entry into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. Up to this point, his ministry has been focused in the northern border regions north of Galilee, kind of in the fringes. In a dramatic move, Jesus turns his sights to Jerusalem, traveling, collecting large crowds as he does, and predicting his death at least 3 times. The place in this story is Jericho, one of the cities on the ancient north-south trade routes. Perhaps the oldest city in history, a day's journey. A day's journey from his final destination. In his blindness, Bartimaeus has become a beggar. A common experience for those who have lost their power. Children, widows, lepers. Bartimaeus hears the crowd that's following Jesus and shouts, "Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me." Emphasis on me. The world has not been particularly merciful to Bartimaeus. And in this instance, the people try to get him to shut up. But this is the time. And this is the place. And he shouts louder. "Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me." Emphasis on mercy. Jesus hears him and stops in his tracks. Time stops. Place stops. It's here and now. The story reads, Jesus stood still. And hearing Jesus call, Bartimaeus throws off his cloak. A robe of pride, of position, of opposition, oppression. He throws off whatever's bound him and he runs to Jesus. "What do you want me to do for you?" Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what a question. Can you imagine hearing Jesus call you to himself? Can you imagine throwing off all those things that bound you and running to him? Can you imagine hearing him say to you right now, "What do you want me to do for you?" What would you say? What would you say? in that generous flow of time and space, what do you want Jesus to do for you? What do we want Jesus to do for us? Bartimaeus asks for what I believe is the greatest leadership challenge for our time. I want to see again. The word again tells us that Bartimaeus once had an ability to see. He's lost his ability to see. I will say more about this in a couple of weeks when we talk about the currency of generous leadership. But I believe the ability to see the world the way it truly is, in all of its glory and in all of its horror, and to maintain our gaze in faithfulness to the call of the great work of love, is perhaps the greatest leadership challenge of our time. To see again. Remember, leadership is simply our capacity to show up and be human. I want to see again. Go, said Jesus. Your faith has made you well. And upon seeing again, Bartimaeus was compelled to follow, presumably, right into Jerusalem. Compelled to follow in the generous flow of time and place. And may this be our story. Please pray with me. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. What do you want me to do for you? Oh God, these words land on us as community in a whole and new and fresh way. The time is here, the place is here. The time is now, the place is here. What do you want me to do for you? In humble gratitude, O God, may we be open to responding with courage and joy, throwing off the cloak of whatever bound us, that we might be free to follow. Hear this prayer in His holy name.